And my name is Toby. I'm here at DOS. This is Karen. She's the CEO of DOS. And we're going to be here to give you the Week 2 recap of the Best Trader competition. So to start things off, we will be going over the dates from June 10th to June 14th. That was the dates of Week 2. I will mention week 1 a little bit, but the emphasis of this will be on Week 2. So to start off, we're going to go right to that Excel analysis like last week. I should also add that we have Justin here. Justin was one of our traders in the competition these past 2 weeks, along with Dramico. He was also one of our traders.
And we have Jill, but
yes,
Jill is on voice only,
Yes.
so she will you won't see her, but she's also on the line. Hey, Jill.
Hey guys.
So starting off here, we can see that the best person as of last Friday was Best 57, as he was for Week 1. This time he's got almost $18,000 in profits, which is around 71% profit and loss percentage. And if we look here at his spark line, we can see not only has he been profitable, but he's been consistent with his profits, minus these gaps, which are days he didn't trade. I also want to give a little shout out to 44 and 54. We can see that they have also been quite consistent with their trading. Even though 54 was negative here, they've been consistent, and that's what matters overall. And if we select everything here, as we can see, the top 10 stocks for both weeks were AMD, LJPC, and ARQL. One of those is a tech stock, and 2 of those are pharmaceutical stocks. And then we can see the average profit and loss per trader per day has been getting better and better over the last 2 weeks. It started off a little bit negative, got quite negative, and now it's back up to being positive as of last Friday. The average profit and loss per trade on Friday was $6, which is not a lot, but that's per trade, remember, so it adds up. And if we select only week 2 of the competition, which was last week, we can see that consistently over the entire week, the profits were increasing, which is definitely a good sign. And if we go back to looking at the entire 2 weeks, we can see that around 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. were the 2 worst times of the day for traders losing money. So those are volatile periods in the market. So remember, you have to be careful when those times hit. Even though 7 a.m. was slightly before the market open time. We can also see that for Week 2, the top 3 stocks traded were ARQL, AMD, and PRVB, which I can go over in detail in a bit. So I'd like to start this off. Jill, do you have anything, did you get a chance to look over the trades? If so, did you have any comments about anything you noticed?
Well, I thought it was interesting that AMD was the number 1 stock traded again, which makes sense. I mean, it's within the chip space, and clearly that's going to have, it's going to get residual effects off of what's happening with the trade war, so that's no surprise there. Lots of biotech activity coming out of ASCO last week, and some big announcements. And I expect that we'll see continued trading activity as more announcements come out, particularly with a lot of M&A happening in the healthcare space. There was a big deal announced yesterday.
Sure.
It seems to be the trend that's happening right here. I do think it's interesting that Best 57, who was number 1 this week, as compared to last week, he was down significantly in quadruple-digit percents and came back to be number 1 this week. So I'd be curious to see what had worked. Was it good timing? Was it just, did you learn something from, or she learned something from last week? So it'd be really cool to understand how trading methodology is evolving over the past couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully we can get he or she on the stream eventually. I'd like to just go over the top 3 stocks now, and then I'll give both of our traders on here a chance to talk about what they did and any input they have. So going back to that presentation we can see for the second week only, the top 3 stocks included AMD, as Jill mentioned. AMD hit a 13-year high on Monday. And as we can see by this graph, the yellow box I have here is the time that is the last week of the competition. So we can see it hit that high right in the beginning of Monday, and then it's gone down since then. And again, as I mentioned last week, this was caused by a strategic partnership between Samsung and AMD to license AMD's graphics technology. And as I also mentioned, there was a later pullback for the rest of the week after it hit that 13-year high on Monday. And we can also see the weekly chart we have here. This box here I have is last Monday's chart. We can see it peaked up here, and then it's come back down for this week right now, which I'll go over next Tuesday. Continuing, we can see that ARQL was also a top traded stock. This had a 45% surge on Friday, and this was caused by positive preliminary data from a phase 1 study for a drug used in certain BTK diseases. We can see that the stock jumped up here, and then it's since leveled out a bit. But because of that jump up, I know there are several traders that got in on this early, and they were able to get a bit of the ride up there. And then lastly, PRVB was another pharmaceutical stock that was very active on Monday. It had a 215% jump Monday, and then it came back down. And this was caused by positive results from a phase 2 study of a medicine that could prevent or slow development of type 1 diabetes, according to Yahoo Finance. And I know a lot of the traders we had got blown out trading PRVB. A lot of them bought the stock and then it dropped down. Some of them shorted it, and then it popped up right back over here, and they lost out. So definitely some people lost out on that. Some people made out well on that. Justin and Jermico, did you have any comments about either the stocks I mentioned or any of your trades? Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think those three stocks were the stocks that I traded as well. And I was one of the persons that got blown out on the PRVB, actually. Before that, I was doing pretty well. I traded LJPC pretty well. The first day that one gapped up, I caught that one going long, and then I caught the reversal as well as it came down. So I traded that one pretty good. And Monday, I just had like a really bad mental lapse. I didn't follow any of my strategies, any of my plans. I was not disciplined at all. I just saw that the stock was up. The float, I think it had I can't remember what the float was, but I just knew the stock was going to come back down, and I didn't have any charts in front of me. I was actually trading that stock from my phone. So I decided to short it. I shorted it too early, and I shorted it aggressively with a large size, and the stock just gapped up about $8 more, and it just blew me out. I didn't put any stops in or anything like that.
I see.
So that was a tough one.
Yeah. In the future, do you think anything you could learn from that? Maybe putting those stops in, anything else?
Well, yeah, definitely. I think if I would have just traded that the way that I normally trade, and how I traded the first week, that could have possibly been my best trade. Because if I would have done my analysis properly, I probably would have caught it going up and then actually wait to see signs of an actual reversal before jumping in. I just saw that the stock was up way too high. I saw that it was overbought, and I just jumped in short without actually, doing any sort of technical analysis on it.
Yeah.
And that was a huge mistake.
I see. Yeah, to see when it's going to come down instead of whether or not it will. Yeah,
right.
I see what
Exactly.
you're saying. Justin, any input about either these stocks or anything else you traded?
So the ones you was talking about, the LJPC,
Yeah.
looks like I got a small short on that one. I just kind of averaged up a little bit, and then I got lucky, and I was able to get out for a teeny profit. And then that PRVB, that was. So Friday I took a big hit on a penny stock that I averaged down on. and that one lost me like 15 grand.
Hmm.
So on Monday with that PRVB, I didn't have too much capital to play with, and that one I started shorting. I think it was come up to where I thought I was going to maybe make a test of the high day or a previous high right there.
Yep.
And then it got through it, so I averaged down a little bit just because I'm already underwater.
Mm-hmm.
So half it's competition, but half I just want to maybe get lucky and get back in the game. It's because I was almost out, and so that one there I got stuck on the short side on that humongous short squeeze on that one. So that one I was just averaging up, and that kind of caught me.
I see. So you said you shorted a stock and then it kept on going up. Did I understand right?
Yeah, that PRVB.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you shorted.
That was the one that had that huge short squeeze on Monday, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Monday. I
So
see. And did you short after it started coming back down, or do you know if you shorted when it was still going up, if you remember?
So I made some notes here. Let's see, my first one, because I'm not at the computer. It says added during the short squeeze mistake, short above the pre-market high. So yeah, so I think my first time, it was right there, almost at the pre-market high. So I did the small entry on a short.
Mm-hmm.
It got above there, I averaged up. So instead of just respecting the level, the limit right there, I averaged up, and then that's when I started grinding up, and I started chasing it. And then when it was full, I didn't have short squeezes where it closed my account because I was at the, I lost all my money.
Yeah,
so.
you lost. Yeah, I see. All right. Well, that was some interesting input. So, in the future, do either of you intend to continue trading, either paper trading or with real money? And if so, is there anything you took away from this? I know, Jermico, you already mentioned that you're going to put some stop orders in and trade like you did the first week. But Justin, is there anything that you would want, maybe advice that you wish you had given yourself maybe a week ago?
Well, it's advice that I've given myself for a long time, but I always just kind of ignore myself, I guess. Mm-hmm. One of them is to, don't average down, and the other one is to pick a max loss on any one trade, whether it be $300 or something, and then just once you hit it, then just don't even worry if you're right or wrong. Just get out of the trade. And so it's it's advice that I've had in my little advice book here, but just kind of ignored it. So
yeah, I understand.
Kind of stick to the advice that you already know. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that. It's a mental battle, really. It's an emotional battle, trying to follow the rules that you already previously set. I get that.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah. Jill. Yeah, go ahead, Justin.
No, you said it's the hardest part, but it's also the easiest part if we just do it.
That's true. Jill, was there anything you wanted to add before we wrap things up here?
No, you know what? I think that's really good advice what they were saying about sticking true to your trading plan. Personally, I think singles and doubles are the way to go so that you can stay in the game. And as newer traders are very well aware of, and not even newer traders, professional traders, getting in is the easy part of the trade. Sticking to your plan and defining those exit points is the hardest part of the strategy. So it's good to learn early in your trading career. You will, by human nature, do this again, but as long as you stay consistent with your trading plan, you'll at least remain in the game, and that's really what's key. So it's encouraging to see that lesson has been learned just within the second week of the competition.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. So for those traders that were blown out, you can actually reset your buying power now. You can right-click on your buying power equity and reset it and keep on paper trading for the rest of the competition. It won't be in the competition, of course, but you can do so for your own practice. And for those of you that are still in it, most of the people that are still in it are actually doing very well. So good luck to you, and I hope that you keep on using the strategies you have been, keep on being consistent. And if you have any questions, remember you can always email us at DOSTrader, and we'd be happy to help. And once again, if you do want to be in our Skype next Tuesday at 4 p.m., if you are a trader, do email us at info@onebesttrader.com, and we can arrange to have you in here, just like Justin and Dramico, and you can give some input on your trades and anything else you'd like to say. So anything else from you, Karen? Or
No,
anyone?
this is good. One thing, though, that one trader did say, he sent an email to us. He couldn't join us. And I think what we took back from that is that he treated this competition as a competition.
He did.
He really didn't have the mind frame set that this was, think of this not as a competition, but actually as your own trades.
Mm-hmm.
And he took unnecessary risks that he would normally have not done if it was his live account that he was trading.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he said if he could do it over again, he wished that he would follow the strategies that he would use if it was his own money that was going to be lost, rather than 25,000 of paper trading money.
Mm-hmm.
There was definitely some good input. He was talking about how he especially at the end, once he started going negative, he took some very risky trades, positions, and that's really what destroyed his account. So if you are negative, remember, all is not lost. Don't try to make a crazy trade hoping that you're going to make all your money back. Usually doesn't work out. Just try to go for that consistency, and eventually you'll figure things out and you'll make it.
And we'll give you kudos for it as well, too.
That's right.
Because,
That's right.
it's consistency is the most important thing when you're practicing trading.
Mm-hmm.
So, that is more important than actually winning the competition, but to be consistent in your trades.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's true.
All
right. Well, thank you everyone for watching this, and make sure you email us if you want to be in it next week. And see you next week at 4 p.m.